stay true to your core, stay true to your heart and who you are, and focus on genuinely helping people. That is how you build a brand that withstands the test of time and allows you to positively impact your generational legacy. How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Sean Barnes. I want to welcome you back to the Way of the Wolf. Last week, I had an opportunity to go present at an NIA networking event. The topic they wanted me to discuss was, in spite of this looming recession that we keep hearing about for 2024, the importance of leaning in to marketing and branding and getting yourself out there. I had a number of different areas of this conversation that I dove into, but I thought, you know what, this would probably be good for me to just create a dedicated episode on to talk through my story, the lessons that I have learned, and how crucial it is to build a brand for yourself. In order to do this, I'm going to go back a little bit. Most of you are aware I spent the majority of my life as the introverted IT nerd, banging away on my keyboard, office door closed, just let me design data centers and focus on the technology. By most people's standards, I was able to achieve a decent level of success just focused on the technology. I got that six-figure salary. I got that director title. I got that VP title. I was confident. I was good at what I did. Then, about 7 years ago, I stepped in and started leading human resources. All of a sudden, I was not confident. I was scared. I didn't know what I was doing. I was questioning if I had made the right decision. And I thought, what is different here? I was extremely confident in leading IT, in designing data centers, and supporting the network infrastructure for a company. But when it came to the people aspect, not confident at all. Why? That's the question. Well, I realized I was confident when it came to the technology because I had spent the majority of my life playing with technology. It always came easy to me. A lot of trial and error, a lot of mistakes were made, but I learned along the way. I was getting the reps in, and over time, I started building confidence in that domain. I was now leading an entirely new domain, and I did not have confidence, and realized, ultimately, I was going to have to build my confidence in this entirely new domain. I was going to have to learn how to read people. I was going to learn more about effective communication. I was going to have to learn how to navigate and resolve conflict. And the only way to do that is by getting the reps in. Over time, I started to get more confident when it came to leading people, to interacting with people, to reading people. These are all skills that can be taught. And eventually, these things focused on people and understanding them and reading them and leading them, they became my passion and purpose in life. These things can be taught. Now I am much more confident in this domain because it is what I am passionate about. It is what I'm good at doing. It's what I'm great at doing. Now, I can always be better. I'm constantly focused on learning and evolving and growing, but I am much more confident now in this domain. And then the company that I used to work for, after giving me IT and HR, eventually safety and transportation and ESG, and the project management office, all these other functional domains, it gets easier over time. Now, I know what you're saying. Sean, okay, what does this have to do with marketing or branding? That's a fair question. Well, last year, whenever I stepped out on my own, because I had gotten to a point where my passion and purpose in life was larger than working for one company. I wanted to get out there and help as many people as possible, help as many companies as possible. So we started WSS with a focus on building teams, building leaders, and then improving businesses. Once again, I found myself lacking confidence, but not in any of the areas related to people or process improvement. I had never sold anything in my life. I had never had to market anything in my life. I had to once again take a step back and start thinking about, here we go again, and now there is a lot more on the line. In my reflection, I realized I've had this podcast for 3 years now. And in that time, I had unintentionally been building a brand and reputation for myself. I had been learning how to market and promote the show. So I had a jumping off point for 2024. Now we're going to go all in. We're going to start creating even more content. We're going to have some new websites coming out for the podcast, for the company. I'm actually going to put together a website focused just for me doing public speaking events. So we've got a lot of stuff planned for this year. I had to ultimately start building confidence once again in an entirely new domain. Really, what this comes down to is, in this day and age, attention is your number one asset. Whenever we started thinking through this, it doesn't matter how good I think I am or how great we are at improving businesses. If nobody knows who we are, it doesn't matter. You have to be able to promote yourself, and not in a slimy, braggadocious, ego-driven way, but it is important to be able to highlight the things that you bring to the table and showcase what you and your team are good at. So that is our focus. Another lesson that I have learned, I spent 2 years trying to build my Instagram following. A couple of years ago, I had about 450 or so followers. 2 years daily posting reels, stories, carousels, engaging with people's content, following other people, engaging on their content. I was crushing myself trying to grow my followers on Instagram. Now, I'm sitting at about 1,900 followers, something like that, which is a little bit demoralizing. But then last year, I looked over to LinkedIn, where I hadn't even been trying, and had over 4,000 followers. And then it hit me. I was focused in the wrong area. The people that are on Instagram and Facebook, they're there from an escapism perspective. They want to watch dogs dancing in tutus and chasing balls and things like that. They want to see monkeys dancing. They're not there to focus on growing their career. Their mindset is one of, I need to unplug, I need to laugh, I need to have a good time. Whereas on LinkedIn, their mindset was all around career progression and development and professional networking. And that's really the focus of the content that we create. That's really my mission and purpose in life, is to help people grow in their careers and in life. So now we're once again shifting over here into focusing on building a network on LinkedIn. That's where our customers are at. That is a key takeaway. Whenever you start thinking about building your brand, think about where your customers are hanging out. Now, this can be in the physical world or the virtual world, but you have to spend your time and energy building up that platform where they are actually all hanging out and their mindset is focused on the type of content that you want to create. At one point, I thought, man, I just wasted a bunch of time and energy on Instagram. But it wasn't wasted, because that entire time I was refining my skills and building my skills around just creating content. Now we take it over here to LinkedIn and shift it and focus on creating even more using the skills that I learned over the past few years. This is all an iterative approach when it comes to growing and learning. And now you're taking all these skills that you have learned and you started getting more confident in one arena. Apply it to where your customers are at. That is how you start building your brand, building a community, building a following of people that can trust you. If you do not know how to maximize your reach on a given platform, that's okay. Google is your best friend. YouTube is also a good friend. Generative AI, ChatGPT, Google Bard, these are all platforms and tools that will show you the way. We all have access to one of these in our pocket, which gives us the ability to tap into the entirety of human knowledge. You have no excuse for not being able to learn how to grow your brand and how to make money. In this day and age, information is free and it is everywhere. Now, a few things to consider. We see a lot of these overnight success stories. It makes you think, well, I'm going to start a podcast and I'm going to sell it for a couple $100 million, just like Joe Rogan did. It's not going to happen overnight. I've had this podcast for 3 years. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out what is the best way to reach as many people as possible. That is why it is so important that when you start on this journey, you are doing it for the right reasons. Doing it for money, while nice and appealing, is not the right reason. Follow your passion. Follow your purpose. It will carry you through those challenging times when you don't have a lot of engagement, when you don't get your followers responding to you and messaging you, and you don't have customers beating down your door. If you're doing it for the right reasons, it will grow. Stay true to your core. Stay true to who you are. That is what is the most important here. The biggest brands were built over decades, not days, weeks, or years. Decades. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Focus on what you want to do, how you want to be perceived by the world. Use this year to start learning new skills and figuring out, how do I grow my brand? We've all heard the phrase, it's not what you know, but who you know. I'm going to take it a step further and say, it's actually who knows what you know. Don't think of it as bragging or having a massive ego, just highlighting and showcasing what you bring to the table. There is going to be some trial and error. Whenever you get out there, you might feel icky or slimy trying to promote yourself. Stay true to your core, stay true to your heart and who you are, and focus on genuinely helping people. That is how you build a brand that withstands the test of time and allows you to positively impact your generational legacy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for the show today. I would ask, if you're listening to this on audio, go check out the YouTube channel. Actually layer in some B-roll footage and images and graphics and things like that, so it kind of hits the nerve centers in your brain just a little bit differently. Also, however you found this show, if you could pay it forward, share it with somebody that you think could benefit from it. Like, subscribe, hit those notifications, all that fun stuff. My commitment to all of you is you're going to see a lot more content coming out from us for 2024. Y'all have a good one.